ọ na-arụ na na ya ọrụchabekwe tude ka ọ na-arụ n'ime ebe enyi ọ gbatabekwe tais ebe a dọmp
Guys, a human ritual syndicate has just been exposed in Eziago local government area of Enugu State, all thanks to a 13-year-old girl that was kidnapped, intended to be killed and used for rituals. This was said to have happened on the 26th of May 2025, where it was said that the 13-year-old girl and her father had gone to fetch firewood in the farm, when out of nowhere they were met by two strangers who requested a knife from the girl's father. As the girl's father tried to get the knife for these strangers because they said they wanted to use it and fix their bike, they grabbed this 13-year-old girl, tied her up, put her on the bike, and drove to a very notable native doctor's house by the name of Eziani. When they were taking this girl to the native doctor's house, a group of vigilante men spotted them from a distance and thought that they looked suspicious. They were like, those guys look suspicious. There's something about these people. Somebody please follow them. But before the vigilantes could follow them, this group of men had taken this 13-year-old girl to Eziani, a very rich and notable native doctor in this local government area. And Eziani saw the little girl, the 13-year-old girl, and threw her in a pit in his compound, in a soakaway pit, in a septic tank, where it turned out that there have been multiple dead bodies that had been dumped there. And that was where this 13-year-old girl was thrown into. And they would have successfully taken this girl and actually used her for what they wanted to use her for, had it been that the vigilante men were not looking for these said suspicious guys they had seen a couple minutes ago in a bike. So these vigilante men continued searching for these men on the bike that they had just seen. And while searching for them and trailing where they went to, they began hearing a little girl cry. They began hearing a little girl screaming and shouting for help. And they followed that voice into Eziani's compound, where they saw this 13-year-old girl in a pit. And she was rescued alive. But what they saw next left their mouths wide open. What these vigilante men discovered in that pit that they were picking up this 13-year-old girl from was something that would lead to this chaos that is happening now in Enugu State. They discovered that in this pit there were other people tied up, intended to be used for rituals. They also saw decomposing body of people that had been brought there from days past. Even the picture and the video of what looked to be a pregnant woman was seen tied up and most likely dead in that pit. It so turned out that this man, Eziani, the notable native doctor, is the leader of a very notorious cult group called the White Club, aka the Kingdom of Progress, with over 15 members.
Okay. You sure?
The problem is, people know that Eziani is a native doctor, but they did not know the depth of his dealings. They did not know what this man actually did behind closed doors, or in this case, under his foundation. Nobody knew that this man was kidnapping, killing people, and burying them under his building. Nobody saw this coming. They only saw him as a regular native doctor who seemed to be successful. You know, one of those herbalists that help people solve problems with the easiest way or the most conventional way possible. There are videos of him spraying money at occasions. There are videos of him showering money to people, giving gifts out. That it's clear that this man is well to do. This man is not your average native doctor who sits in a shrine with the red clothes and white chalk around his eyes. This is one of those native doctors who somehow is rich and is now trying to get people to be rich too. except he was doing it in the most unconventional ways you could ever imagine. As Ezeani started building a new property in Enugu State, he started recruiting members for his white club. According to one of the members that was arrested, they said that to join this club, you have to come with 250,000 naira. And then, every now and then, each member of the club would have to kidnap or bring somebody over for rituals. The person that they would bring in, these said members would have to kill the person, lick the blood, and take an oath to the god that Ezeani is serving, to the deity that is making them rich, to promise to serve them forever. And the day they stop serving this deity, they will be killed by this deity. This is part of the initiation process to join the White Club, the Kingdom of Progress for Ezeani. Some sources say that before he was caught, they were trying to piece out a puzzle. They were trying to do the ultimate sacrifice. They're trying to do the major sacrifice for the members of the White Club, where they have to kidnap a man, a pregnant woman, and a virgin. So it was in the process of looking for a virgin that they went to pick up that 13-year-old girl, apparently. Now, just for clarity, the part where we saw these people buried underground, where they were buried under the foundations of his house, it's not in the main building. So there's a whole part of this man's properties inside the bush part where he seems to be building a house. It's like a new site. The house is still currently being built. So you see that the house is still hasn't been completed. It's an uncompleted building. And I think that is where he buried the pregnant woman, the said man, and supposedly the 13-year-old girl. Now, in his main building, that is where we saw the shrines. So I would say that's where we saw the shrines, the graves, the fetish things that clearly shows that he's a native doctor. I think there is also there were a lot of his properties were, and I think that is why he is able to escape, because at the time he learns that in his uncompleted building, in his new site that they've seen where he has been burying people under the foundations, he had enough time to run away from his main house. But unfortunately, they got his house, they touched it. His cars and his properties were targeted and burnt down. Now, it's unclear if in his current house that has been completed, if there is anything that was buried underneath it. But I doubt, if at all, for them to see anything buried underneath it, it would have to be dismantled all the way up to the ground. And I don't think that is the case. But since he's already building this new house with dead bodies underneath it in the ground of the foundations of the house, then there's that possibility that this is how this man has been building his houses. And he had no plans to stop. So the main goal of these people, according to what people are saying, is that they will kidnap all the varieties of people that they needed for this ritual and then give them some title, so that when they are eventually killed, the spirit of the pregnant woman, the spirit of the man, the spirit of the virgin will start working their magic in the afterlife to keep making this group of cultists very rich. But unfortunately for them, they could not complete the puzzle, because the 13-year-old virgin that was kidnapped was quickly rescued. That night of the 26th of May, the vigilante men made it their goal to find those guys that kidnapped her, and they were able to catch them. One of them happened to be a barber, and when he was asked what all this was about, he claimed that he joined the group and he wanted to leave, but Ezeani, the native doctor, told him that for him to leave, he would have to get 1 million naira, which this barber did not have, because he wanted to join but did not know what it took. It's after he had joined and realized that, wow, they have to do human sacrifice, kill people, kidnap people, that he realized that he did not want to do it anymore. Unfortunately for him, it was too late, and he could not leave unless he was going to drop 1 million naira and other drink items. And since this guy could not provide it, Ezeani gave him the orders to get more people for the ritual. Hence, he took part in kidnapping the virgin 13-year-old. It's also being said that some of the other members of the White Club has been caught and arrested and maybe handed over to the police. We don't know yet. As that for Eziani, we don't know what people are saying, if he's on the run, if he has been caught and handed to the police. Nothing has been said regarding him being accountable for what has been discovered in his house. This story is currently developing, so put in mind that many details may come up later. Many information that we don't have now would come up. Some things may even change. Again, we don't know if Eziani himself has been caught and arrested, but we are hoping that when that happens, would have the information. Right now, I think he's probably going to be on the run. His house, cars, his property has been ransacked. Videos are circulating for every activity and everything that was found in his house. This is a man that people see go to parties, spray money, flash his properties, his cars, his mansion, and somehow, nobody expected that underneath all of this source of his wealth were the blood of human beings, were the blood of innocent people, were the heads. If this girl had not screamed and shouted for help, and if this vigilante man had not seen something that was suspicious and chased after it, we would not be here today talking about this. This would not have been discovered. This would have gone on for only God knows how long. Remember, this man has been rich and relevant for a very long time.